everyone. Welcome to the Free Zone Podcast, a space where we feel free and we talk about whatever we want, however we want it, and with no script. Today's episode is sponsored by Tobacco Tour, the only Cuban American company that guarantees a fully experience with no worries at all. And you can actually get to know the real Cuban culture and the real tobacco culture. So if you want to know more about it, please click the link below. You have all the information of the company. Definitely recommend it. It's something that you need to do in your lifetime. Today's guest, today we have a very different show. Like it's like a hybrid show. We have in person and we have part in person and part on the distance. But that doesn't mean that's less genuine and personal. Actually, I have a very good friend of mine on the show that I actually interviewed last week when we were working together in Combate Global in Univision. Is my dear friend, Mr. Delicious. I would like to present him, Shane Fazen.
What's
Shane,
up, everybody?
I'm so happy to have you here again in the Free Zone podcast. Before we get into the Free Zone questions and all the questions that I wanted to ask you of the last updates on your life, I want to show people the interview that we had in person in Univision. Let's watch the interview. Second time, welcome to the Free Zone podcast. I'm very excited today because I have a very special friend and guest, and I had to take advantage that we were working together. That's why I didn't even bring it to the studio. Mr. Shane Fazen. Shane, thank you so much for being with us today. Of course, everybody knows you. You're famous. You're a personality. But I actually want to get to know you a little bit better when it comes to how you started your beginnings. How do you went from doing YouTube videos to being an actor, producer, commentator, and all of that? What actually inspired you to do everything that you're doing? And why do you do it? Because I'm curious.
The whole story from the beginning.
From the beginning. When did you start in the entertainment industry?
Entertainment industry. I don't know. Like, what do you consider the entertainment industry? Because I started Fight Tips. We bought the domain when I was 14 years old, so that was 2004.
Okay, that's entertainment industry. So 14 years old.
Okay, yeah. So 2004, my older brother says, "I want to start a website. I don't know what it's going to be about. Do you have any ideas?" And I'd been doing Taekwondo for a couple of years, and I was like, it could be martial arts related. And he's like, cool. I just want to see if I can build out a website. So we just started like putting content on there. It was pictures at first. Then we made a forum, and then people started finding it from around the world. We had people from all over coming in. Then it became this big martial arts forum, and people were like, Shane, you should do videos. So I started working at a deli, cleaning dishes, and I saved up money for a digital camera before we had cell phones with cameras on them. And I bought a digital camera. And at first, it was like me and my buddies boxing in a backyard.
Let me interrupt you right there. It's funny how people see the results today of what you've been doing and all of these years of effort, but people don't see what you had to do to get to where you are. All the sacrifices, all the jobs that you had to get to buy your cameras, to be able to afford the things that you have today. People don't see that.
That's a good point, because like a lot of people today are like, I want to start a YouTube channel. And I'm like, you have everything that you need, like right in your phone. But the flip side is it's tough because there's so much competition out there now.
Right.
So like the fact that we got in, we were making videos before YouTube was around. It was 2004. YouTube came out in 2005. And we were one of the first martial arts channels, and we just stuck with it. So like we were fortunate time-wise, we got lucky. These days, it is a little bit harder to break into the scene, but you have everything that you need.
You know, it's very hard to take you serious with that black eye.
This is with makeup that Beatrice did.
I had to do his makeup because I couldn't put him on camera with a black eye. Actually, okay, we're going to go to that. I just have to do the commercial. But anyway, how do you go from that to, you were talking about the acting gigs that you got in the past. Like, how do you went from doing your YouTube videos or the videos that you were doing to being an actor and a producer?
Well, so I guess kind of moving to LA was like that big step that we took. So my wife and I started doing Fight Tips full time in 2013. I was working like 3 different jobs at the time, bartending and personal training. She was working in retail. And I was like, if I quit one of my jobs and put that time into YouTube, can I start making more money? Mm-hmm. And it worked. And then she quit her job. And then I quit my other 2 jobs. And since then, we've just been doing it full time. And then we're like, well, what if we go to like the Holy Grail, the Mecca? What if we go to California, go to LA, The YouTube studios were there.
Yeah.
We could use the studios. We could rent out equipment and cameras and lights and everything that we needed to make it just a higher production. And then we came out with this series that my wife came up with called Fight Like, how to fight like your favorite fighters.
Oh my God, I saw that. And let me tell you something. It's amazing. I love those videos. Your wife is genius because
she is.
That is, I mean, I got to personally meet her. She's not only a sweetheart, but she's a very smart woman.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, those videos are amazing because they actually teach you how to fight.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was the idea. Like everything, like with everything that we did.
Yeah, but you get a lot of videos that people are fighting, fake fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see this jiu-jitsu girls are do the videos and these guys are doing jiu-jitsu. It's not the same. You're actually teaching a technique. Let's be real here.
Don't be a hater.
I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying things that they are. Like I see some guys fighting. I'm like, okay, he knows about fighting the same thing I know about the maternity of a chicken. You know, it's like it doesn't even make sense. Like, what is this guy doing this? You're actually putting out there things that are real techniques.
Yeah.
That you had to learn too to be able to showcase.
I think the secret was I obsess over that stuff. Like I'm thinking about it. I was just talking to my buddy Luke about this. He was like, I can't believe like how much you're into this the same way that I am. I'm like, Luke, we're the same person. He was the one who gave me the black eye, by the way.
I have to bring Luke next time.
Yeah, get Luke. You guys, you and Luke would get along too. He's a character. But I was just talking about like how like when I'm like laying in bed at night, I'm just constantly thinking about like human movement and striking and fighting and how to be better and also how to be a better instructor and teach that to other people because that's a skill in and of itself too, right? Like if you can do it, that's one thing, but to be able to convey that information to other people, that's another.
And the acting thing. I want to hear the acting gigs that you told me that you had because you told me, but you actually didn't tell me.
No, I don't consider myself an actor. I've done a couple. I've done like a couple of things. So when I first got out to LA, was it Lionsgate? I think hit me up. It was to promote the newest Hunger Games, and they did. It was the biggest production that I had ever been a part of. It was like 50 people on set.
Remind me to get an autograph when I leave here.
But it wasn't for the Hunger. It was for a promotion for the Hunger Games. But it was very legit, and I played one of the characters that was like a drill sergeant to teach people. So we did like this choreographed fight scene, and it was really cool. So that was like my first like IMDb credit that I got.
Oh wow,
and
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I guess the other one was like something that we produced.
Do you have to audition for that?
That one I didn't. No, it was like.
Excuse me, you got the job without auditioning.
I know, see, and that's why I don't feel comfortable calling myself an actor because you guys work very hard to be actors.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes when you get that opportunity, and plus you had a background already of dealing with cameras, doing your own videos. You got a producer eye, which is very important sometimes for acting.
Yeah,
because a lot of actors don't see what behind the camera looks like, and they get very, very center what they think the character looks like.
That's a good point.
And you know, sometimes it doesn't matter what you're thinking in your head. It's always good to have different perspectives of the camera in front of the camera and behind the camera.
I think that's one of the things that Campbell recognized about bringing me out here to Combate was like he sees that I understand the production that goes into it. He knows that I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I made a joke to him the last time I was here before we went live. He was like, "You should come back 2 weeks from now." I was like, Campbell, what if I mess up? Like, are you sure you want to wait until after to say that? And he was like, even if you do mess up, I know that you're good in front of the camera and there's going to be a learning curve, but I know you'll be great for this.
How does it feel? This was your first commentating gig in Combate Global.
Yeah.
So you did it 2 weeks ago, a few weeks ago. How does it feel to be commentating a sport that you love so much?
Again, my wife pushed for it a lot. I didn't know that I actually wanted to do it. I know I have an eye for it.
Shout out to the wine, ladies and gentlemen.
We wouldn't. Fight Tips wouldn't be where it's at. I wouldn't be where I'm at without her. But yeah, it was. She was like, when you watch the fights at home, I learned so much just based on the stuff that you're saying. You would be great at this. And I think, truth be told, I hate doing podcasts. But I wanted to wait until we're 10 minutes into the podcast.
Oh my God, we're being it's funny because I convinced him. I told him it's only 5 minutes, Cuban minutes, 5, 10, 15. 5 minutes could turn to 20. Who cares?
I think it's like the idea of like it's not edited kind of.
Yeah, no, okay. So we're not doing any type of editing here. We're literally with the phone, with the microphone. I don't even know if it's working right now. I was literally talking with the microphone before my hand. But I want this, the idea of the podcast is called Free Zone because there's no bullshit, and I can say it with my whole heart. I always appreciate genuine things, genuine people, genuine effort, everything related that's actually real.
Yeah.
So I saw the first time I saw you, I already gave him a nickname.
Yeah. I'm running with this too. I
So
love
it's
it.
actually funny because his last name in Spanish means a delicious meal. So I don't know this guy yet. And they're like, oh, Beatrice, you're working with this guy's today. And they give me a paper, but I didn't know how to pronounce your name. So I'm like, oh, Shane Fazen, oh, delicious meal. So they're like, be careful, that's his wife. I go to his wife, I'm like, hey, very nice to meet you. I'm
Mrs. Delicious.
Beatrice. You're Mrs. Delicious. And she's like, what? I'm like, well, you can call your husband delicious because that's what it means in Spanish. And she was laughing. I mean, she probably thought that I was totally crazy.
No, she loved you. She loved you. Yeah.
But I really admire your story, and I wanted to talk about your beginning, especially because people get to see your videos, people get to see the fight tips, people get to see the result, but they don't see how much your wife helped you, how many hours you spend dedicating to how to structure your business, how many times you had to go to jobs that you probably hated to be able to afford your cameras and do the whole production the right way. So that's why, because everything in the world we live today, everything is fast and easy. Yep. Everybody wants the results like this.
Yep, instant gratification.
Correct. So it's very hard to find and to meet people that actually have a background story that you're like, wow.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Like, I'm like,
you
wow.
too. I don't know how much you've told on this podcast, but
okay, I'm interviewing you today. Next time when you do your podcast, I'm gonna come to you one day and you're gonna do a video with me, fight tips.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna talk about my life story, which is not as interesting as his.
Not true.
But
not true.
But again, what does it feel? You're going to be in Combate Loal again as a commentator.
Yep.
Do you see yourself doing this more often? Maybe for doing it for Combate full time, or maybe doing it for another company?
Yeah.
You see yourself?
I do. As soon as I came in, you guys were just so warm. It felt like a family. We were saying it was like a living room, or like I felt like I was like in someone's house. And I think it was you. You're like, yeah, you're going to see a lot of us are going to be fighting, and it's going to feel like a family dinner.
Yeah.
And I felt very comfortable as soon as I got here. And even though I was on the fence about commentating, after the first event, I was like, I want to do this. This feels right. So yeah.
And it's very interesting because sometimes you find these little gigs that you never thought you were going to do. Yeah. And then it turns out that first of all, you're good at it, and then you like it.
Yeah, I know.
And then it's also related to what you do currently, like what you're doing.
I think that's the secret. Like you just said it. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. You'll never know. And it's called a comfort zone for a reason. Like you're comfortable there. It's easy there, but growth doesn't happen there. You have to get outside of that to realize, that what scared me before I did it is actually the thing that I really love to do. That's what you got to do. And you got to just try. You'll never know if you don't try.
See, that's the key. You have to be persistent and you have to keep trying. But anyway, I don't want to hold you because it's been 12 Cuban minutes already. We're going to go. I have to ask you the free zone questions. So we're going to have to leave that for the next time I go back home. We both go back home.
Okay.
I go into my studio because the free zone questions are very important.
Okay.
But I don't have them here. I'm not in the studio.
Okay.
So we're going to jump on a call and we're going to continue this conversation for another 5 Cuban minutes.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Deal. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. And don't forget to tune in, follow us, and all of that you already know. So I'm not going to keep boring you. See you guys soon. It's very funny to actually watch all of that again because it just brings you so many memories. So now that we saw everything that we talk about since your beginnings, how you started doing fighting tips, how you started with your wife, building your empire, your ideas, your dreams, which is very motivating. I want to know, what are your future plans for fighting tips? I also want to know, how was the experience of doing the sparring with Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero? Let's start with the first one. Fighting tips first. Let's go with the first one first.
Yeah,
Okay. I get very excited.
Yeah, we got lots to talk about. We got lots to cover. Yeah. So the next big thing that we're working on is, in addition to fight tips, we also have Magnus, which is our membership-based platform. But we're doing our first in-person event and we're doing it in conjunction with Fight Tips. So this is going to be on May 16th through the 18th. It's a 3-day event. We have coaches coming in from all over the world. We have 15 different seminars and workshops happening. But in addition to that, we also are scouting, looking for the next Magnus coach. And we're going to feature 3 people that stand out to us. And we're going to turn this sort of into like a reality show, a contest, a challenge where we're trying to find the most deserving coach. Maybe someone who isn't super big on social media, but has all the qualities of a good coach. And we're going to be scouting throughout this event, looking for them. Then we're going to feature them on Fight Tips, and we're going to have the viewers vote on who they would like to see create their own full-length course. We're super excited about that.
That's so cool. Now I'm kind of upset, to be honest with you, because you never told me any of this when I saw you. And I'm not invited to that show event. Like, I know you live in Machu Picchu where you live. I don't even know where.
Machu Picchu, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, same thing.
Same
But
thing.
I mean, I would definitely love to be part of it. To go and to see everything that's going on. I mean, you work at such a speed. It's just crazy. Like, when is this going to start exactly? You have a date already, or is that everything's still on the working? Tell me a little bit about it.
No, yeah. So it's coming up. It's 2 weeks away. So we've been planning and marketing this event for a long time. But we kind of just came up with this idea to scout and pick a coach in the past couple of weeks. So we've been ironing out the details, figuring out how exactly that's going to work. And we just made the announcement last week. So local coaches, we have coaches flying in from Australia, Aruba, all across the States coming in for this event. Yeah. So
how many people do you have so far, more or less?
Well, we have 12 coaches presenting. And then we're capping it at 100 people, and we're getting close to the limit now. So, yeah, I mean, we got a couple more weeks, but everything, you can find all the information on magnus.io, or if you just search for the Magnus Summit, that's MAGNVS. It's an acronym that stands for the Martial Arts Global Network and Virtual Space.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, tell me now about the experience that you had with Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, because I saw you sparring them, and I'm like, wow. Like, it's crazy. First of all, I have to say, I was very impressed that you almost look better than them. I have to be honest.
No, don't do that, because then they're going to come looking for me. And
I'm just being, this is a free zone, Shane. I have to be honest. Yeah, saying there. So how was the experience?
Let me be transparent, because I haven't actually said this in any interviews yet, but I was willing to spar with Rolly. I was not willing to spar with Ryan. So if that's any conclusion of like,
no, you don't need to say anything else. You said it all.
Let me say this too. When I scheduled that spar with Rolly, I made it very clear not to kill me. I was like, hey bud, like please, I'm just passing through. We were doing a road trip. We were in the van. We talked about how we were going seminar to seminar. And I really just wanted to collect some good content. I always wanted to go to the Mayweather gym. And I had reached out to him, and I was like, hey, would you be willing to do like a friendly tech spar? Please don't kill me. If you're down for that, that would be awesome.
But let me tell you, my friend, you looked amazing. I mean, you look like you're almost ready to fight them, actually. But anyway, now I know you have a lot on your plate with fighting tips, new projects. But we got to experience. We got a very nice experience in Combate Global. Me as a ring announcer, and you as a commentator. But I think that you have a lot of future as a commentator as well. Have you actually thought about doing it in a near future, or keep doing it maybe?
Absolutely. We talked about how I was like a little hesitant at first. Just the idea of being recorded and it being live is a little intimidating. But I had so much fun doing it, and it came so naturally to me. There was something that Marie, my wife, had always talked about. She's like, I love watching the fights with you in person, because I feel like I see things that I wouldn't normally see. And you're able to bridge that gap from like the casual viewer to what's actually happening inside of La Howla, or inside of the cage, or inside of the ring. And man, it was just like pure enthusiasm when it actually started. Like, I had the butterflies, and I've come to really enjoy those nerves. You know, I talk about like, we pay money to get on roller coasters or to watch scary movies. So like to experience that
adrenaline, that rush, it's like, it's almost intoxicating. It's almost like you need to repeat it, repeatedly doing it again. It's like weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once once the cameras were live, like, I'm obviously comfortable in front of the cameras. But once we were going, and then the fights are just so exciting. Like the last match, Combate Global, was 100% finish rate, 6 fights, 6 finishes, 3 TKOs, 3 rear naked chokes. Like, how could you not enjoy just
Yeah,
watching
no,
them?
I still get the goosebumps of that card, to be honest. And there was a lot of pro debuts. So at the beginning, I was like, oh, it's nice, but I didn't think it was gonna be so aggressive, and
Yeah.
it was very very exciting.
Yeah. I've gone
Anyway,
back and watched that first fight a couple of times. It's so good.
yeah,
Yeah. If you
no,
have
no,
to go back,
the first three fights were, I mean, no, that whoever, I mean, if you guys haven't seen that, you also have to check that fight in Combate Global because honestly, it's worth watching. But
so
before we continue, okay, do you see this chain? You probably don't see it well. Okay, now you see it better.
yeah.
This little thing here that you see here is full of random questions that I asked to all of my guests here at the show. Unfortunately, you're in Machu Picchu where you live, so I don't have you here. But I am going to pick random questions, and you are going to answer them with pure truth, even if they're uncomfortable. It doesn't matter. Are you ready?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. First question, and okay.
Oh boy.
Biggest mistake you've ever done?
I thought these were yes or no questions.
No, these are the free zone questions. I told
Okay.
you about this.
All right. I tried to do a backflip at a wedding after having a couple of drinks and was unsuccessful and landed on my face.
You landed on your face. Wait a second, because when I saw you the last time we
Next
worked together, you
question.
had a black eye. I mean, you're a troublemaker. Backflips on a wedding? Like, what makes you even do that?
The split
Why?
wasn't enough. I didn't get a big enough reaction from the split, so I went for the backflip.
Okay, definitely we started with the right foot. Okay, second question. Ooh. Um, have you ever felt trapped in a life that's not yours, and what do you do to get out of it?
Um, at first, like my initial reaction was no. Like I really enjoy my life and the decisions that I've made, but I have always thought about living in the past with like if I could live in the like 1800s, it would definitely be a rough lifestyle, but I think that would be I think it like would cater to my personality a lot. And then like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, I always admired too. So I think if anything, like I would have enjoyed living back in that time. How do I find myself like making it work? I have a really good imagination. I do a lot of writing, so I think that's kind of like my
Really?
creative writing. Yeah.
So have you write something like, I mean, I can definitely see you as a knife like dressed up with the hair and all of that. Definitely can see you like that. But have you ever have you ever written something like, because I can see that you have a lot of imagination, you have a lot of creativity, and that's you can see it the moment that I met you, I already saw that. But have you ever thought about writing something, because you have a lot of potential.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on like what I consider my biggest project to date. It's starting off as a comic book, and my plans are to turn it into an animated series, a movie, video game. But there's a lot of storytelling, creative writing that goes into it. So I've been really studying on that front to make sure that I'm understanding character arcs and red herrings and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's like whenever I have downtime, I'm focusing on that story.
You impress me every time. I can't believe I have to make you literally an interview on Zoom so you can tell me all of these things. I almost can't, kind of feel offended at this point.
There's a lot to cover.
Listen, I'm gonna make you one last question, just because I like you and I don't want to take a lot of your time, because I already taken a lot of your time. So, last but not least, let's see what we have here. Okay, this is very interesting questions, and you're gonna have to fly your imagination. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would you choose, and what would you do?
Oh, Beatrice, easy. That's an easy. We, Beatrice and I, we had dinner after rehearsals, and I learned a lot about you. I think you live a very cool life, and I would love to be in your shoes for just a day or two.
Well, now I kind of feel flattered that you want to be me. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm like, well, I didn't see it coming, to be honest. But now that I know that, if you're in my life, I mean, what would you do now that you have a little bit of a background history of my life? What
Yeah.
would you do if you would trade lives with me? Now I'm curious.
Okay, well, just the fact that you know three different languages, I would love to travel, go to Spain, go to Italy, go to Mexico, and you have this way about you where you're able to just like spark a conversation with anybody, and I don't have that. I'm pretty introverted. I'm good in front of the cameras, but like in social settings, I get really shy, really nervous. And you seem to just be able to talk to anybody, and I admire that so much. So I would like to just meet new people and learn about them.
It's funny because when you told me that you were an introvert, I'm like, there's no way. There's no because you're so nice and you're so outgoing, and then you're like, yeah, Beatrice, yeah, I have like social anxiety and stuff. I can't communicate with them. I'm like, I can't believe you. I don't see you that well, but I guess that you when you work in with cameras and entertaining and like working with people, you kind of have to learn how to live with that and how
That's what it
to.
is. And I think like when I'm in it, I enjoy it. Like I said, I like learning about people. I think it just requires more focus and energy from me than it does from someone who's extroverted. So I get more tired in those settings more, and then I just have to recharge sooner. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's a little bit more of a challenge.
I'm still flattered. You said that you want to be in my life. anyway, anyway, I'm gonna give you one last question before we finish this podcast. If you could give one message to the people that are watching us, and tell them, like, give them an advice of how to be in the free zone, how to liberate themselves, how to lose all their fears to actually reach their maximum potential, what would that advice would be?
I would say stay off of your phone as much as you are. Stop relying on technology and go for a walk. Like I make sure that every single day I go for a walk with my dogs and I don't look at my phone the whole time. And I just try to be present with my thoughts and nature. And to me, that's like I really like being in my head. I know some people try to like stay out of that place, but for me, I find that like just very important. And I think just being more accepting and showing more love to people.
I think the level of creativity and imagination, and also the persistency and the relentlessness that you have at persisting what you like and your dreams and your vision, that you can already see it already, like you have fighting tips, you have all these projects, is because of what you have in your head, and you embrace that. Even if a lot of people, because a lot of people face the fear of uh, the challenge that they have in their head. Like, let's say that they have a dream but they don't know how to execute it. They have a dream or they think about something but they don't have the will, or they're not strong enough, or they don't know how to manage the emotions of the I don't know what's gonna happen. Am I gonna fail? Am I gonna succeed? Am I gonna? And you have so much passion for what you do that you don't care about any of that, and that's something that I admire big
Thank,
time.
thank you, Beatrice. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think what it is a lot of people tend to distract themselves. I know that I'm guilty of that too, because we don't want to look back on the past um, and kind of like self-analyze. And I think it's kind of like a defense mechanism. Of course, you want to live in the moment as much as possible, but I like living in the moment and really just like letting those thoughts and feelings and visions and everything just really set in, rather than constantly trying to distract myself and look into the future or be entertained or whatever. So just slowing down and appreciate everything that's going on.
Woohoo! Shane Fazen in the house, people. Thank you so much, my dear, to be here with us. Mr. Delicious in the house. So don't forget, thank you again. And don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube page. And of course, all of our socials. You already know the drill. So I'll keep you guys posted because we bring a lot of things in this Free Zone podcast. So stay tuned.